Hello everyone, I am Cherry Autry and welcome to my channel. While I have the time, I conjured up a thought or for discussion that I'd like to bring to the table. I was uh, I was on Discord creating a uh, a server for a particular niche that I think does not have um, a foundation. There's definitely a gap um, in their foundation, and I'm hoping to fill that gap, right? Um, but while I was doing it, creating the Discord server, um, I, I thought, man, this is rough. Uh, and what I mean by that is, I was creating the Discord server, still am creating the Discord server, um, on my desktop. Although previously, when I created Discord servers, which was about 3 to 4 years ago, I had made a few, and the highest one um, in which uh, in which is most successful was a server with 100 members that I had maintained until I removed it for some reason. I'm weird like that, right? Mentally, I struggle in that regard. Anyhow, or anyway, the the point that I want to talk about is the accessibility on Discord being just terrible in terms of creating servers. The edit and delete buttons should be next to each other and not 3 or 4 buttons away. Like, it's fucking stupid. Secondly, uh, anytime I try to access the main settings of the server, I there's two things that happen. One, it brings me to that page as the main screen, and that is where I'm navigating. And the other is, for some reason, I have to like tab, so it redirects me to a channel, a text channel, and then I have to tab to the edit box. From the edit box, I tab, and then I get back to the focus mode of the um, editing the server. Weird. But that's not even what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something even more foundational to the human brain. Um, I was thinking, man, this would be a lot easier if I could just remember where everything is. And it got me thinking, huh, our brain has this memory, and it can be broken down, or it can be reduced to um, like long term and short term, but it can also be reduced to the fact that your sensory perceptions have sort of memory storage units um, installed, as it were, to each sense, right? So you have your seeing, you have your hearing, you have your speaking, you have your feeling, etc. I don't want to repeat, right? Your smell. Um, and all of those convey meaning, and therefore um, contain data, information flowing through you from the thing to your brain. Later, you could recall that thing to whatever you remember it to be. Um, with Discord and its terrible layout, it had me thinking it would be so much quicker if I had the visual plus um, the hearing, um, even if I have to navigate how I am currently, even if I navigate the same way, right? Um, so anyway, the the idea was the way that we, or I, as a blind individual, a legally blind individual, to be 100% with you, um, is instead of using my visual perception or sensory, I am dependent on my hearing and hearing alone. So that memory unit is smaller or non-existent compared to my hearing um, storage unit inside my brain. I have to fit more knowledge um, into that storage unit than than I would have than normal, right? Than I would have to if I had the vision. Um, and what that means is think about it this way, right? You have your memory, and with your eyes, you have your own little memory box, and then with your hearing, you have your memory box there. So you have two memory boxes, and then you add on to the smell as well as the touch and the speaking part, right? Um, you have that. You have these are all different storage boxes in your brain that communicate maybe via window or something with each other, flowing the information, which makes things recalling, which makes recalling things a lot easier. Um, but in my case, because my vision box is smaller, um, or is the same size but cannot store information, I have to overload certain storage units to ensure I am on that same length as if my visual unit box was full, right? And that is something where psychology and neuroscience is will beautifully denote how that works. I have no idea. I'm coming at it more out of an angle of theory and abstraction than empirical data or empirical signs. Um, so I thought that was interesting. The fact that um, the hearing storage unit has to be either expanded or it gets overloaded, and in which case you sort of are at a disadvantage due to the fact that brains are limited to your biological makeup. And what I mean by that is um, you could be a average person and achieve what smart people do. Um, See, smart it's a little bit of a debatable topic because um, the brain is so complex, and there's counter arguments and such that I'm not even aware or that I don't know, and there are some counter arguments that I do know, so I don't want to speak too broadly on this topic of smart and dumb and average and such and such. Uh, but it's like we all have limitations in our brain. So if a blind person has a limitation in regards to their recalling information out of their hearing box, well, that kind of sucks and they're out of luck. Like, what do we do in that case? Because everyone's memory is different, and the way that we recall things can be either more difficult or easified, or be more easier to recall if we had access to one of these storage units that I've spoke about previously. Um, yeah, that's something that I've thought about recently, and I would like to know your take on the matter. Um, I do think it is a topic that can be discussed, and please do leave comments below saying what you thought about this sort of thing and how it might affect you, or let alone even if you agree with it. Um, Anyhow, I'm gonna go now. Dogs are barking and shit. Y'all take care. Have a good day. Remain to be strong, or remain to strive to be strong. Don't be a dick. Take care.